Driving while intoxicated, second offense, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You know, you just heard what I said to this other gentleman here. Life doesn't get easier. It gets a lot more difficult the older you get. And when you start racking up convictions, all you're doing is you're making the life even just more difficult. If you have a drug and alcohol problem, there are ways to address it. But when you endanger other people's lives, you may end up digging a hole that's so deep you'll never crawl your ass out of it. And you'll be stuck like Chuck in custody for the next 40 years. It happens time and again. If you don't believe me, watch the news. Every single day, someone dies from a DWI in our county. Yesterday, a construction worker. Take an Uber. It's extremely easy. They make it so easy that all you literally have to push one button. Because I'm going to tell you now, with your history, if you ever get pulled over and an officer smells anything funky, you're going to go down. And this time, it's out of my hands. From now on, you're in felony court. You're 2 to 10 at the penitentiary. Even the faintest smell of alcohol. Do you understand, Mr. Jaggers?
Yes, sir.
Somehow we have to get through to you. Hopefully it doesn't take the fact that you sit there charged with a 5 to life case because you've done something that just can't get out. Get a clue. You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, these will go on your record. 1 and 1 are 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. A third, you're looking at 2 to 10 at the penitentiary. Do you understand?
Sir.
The rest of your life. What are you, 32 right now?
31.
31. You're going to be driving for the next 40 years. How do you plead to the offense of second offense driving while intoxicated? I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to 330 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 113 days that you've done. I am going to suspend your license for 1 year. Do not drive until you get a license. What do you do for a living, Mr. Jaggers? How much money do you make a month?
0 right now.
I'm appointed to this case, Judge.
So you're working for free? For what?
Yes.
I don't know. Well, why would we reward him? He was to obtain a device he just never did.
He doesn't have a vehicle, Your Honor. I was notified by pretrial yesterday that there was this BVR. Talked to Mr. Jaggers about it. He didn't have a vehicle, and by his account, that didn't have a vehicle. He didn't know what to do. But he's here today.
So you just do whatever you want? I mean, this is continuing over and over. I mean,
He spent, better part of 4 months, 3 months in jail, awaiting resolution of this case. He has done that time, Your Honor. He's working now. I really believe that to help him get better, he needs to put this behind him and get started with a new phase of his life.
Mr. Jaggers, I'm going to waive the court costs and I'll waive the DPS fine and surcharge. Just take a damn Uber, man. It's not hard. One button on your phone. All this could be avoided by hitting one button on your phone. All right. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. You're a mom?
I am.
How are you?
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming today.
Appreciate you for having me.
Mr. Hall, so with the 4 open cases, you're lucky to be out. You really need to listen to mom so that a fifth case doesn't occur. It's not going to go well if you pick up a fifth one. Do you understand?
You have to excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They're trying to do two medicines on him. And it doesn't have him here with us, if it makes sense. He's listening, but it has him, if you speak, he's dragging. And I'm okay with that because I can control what's going on. As I was there, I work in the incident business. I work in conjunction with the one thing that we can the sheriff department. And I work with the homeless. I came out of engineering because he taught me two things. I have to pay attention to what's going on at home and not just give love to people on the street. It makes sense, right?
That's great. That's wonderful.
I've done my homework recently, these big last two situations. His grandmother and his grandfather is dealing, they had mental ideations as well, so it triggers. Mom says, be careful who you choose, but we can't be careful who you choose, right?
Right.
Love is love. So holding on gracefully to this. You have to excuse my appearance, I've been in cold gray.
Oh, please, you look great. But my concern is that please tell me he's living with you?
Yes.
Wonderful.
He is.
Okay.
As I said, I'm bringing paperwork together to get custodial.
Guardianship. Okay.
To get him placement to stay there.
You know, I'm happy to, whatever you need, we're happy to give you. You know, we have a lot of resources here that we can always, try to help you with,
I appreciate you.
all you need to do is ask, if you need tablets, cell phones. We can also do evaluations to see, how we go forward. So I'm all ears and I'm with you, whatever you want, whatever conditions you think are appropriate, we can put on it.
We just had an evaluation on the,
Is mom's the CW in the cases? Or,
So Judge, these are old cases from what I remember, 2022,
So
the
the-
ID, the trespass.
well, we have one terroristic threat of a peace officer or a judge. Is that right?
okay, this is what happened.
No, don't.
Yeah.
I just,
We just did a psych evaluation
okay.
and we were in the room. I hope I.
No, let's not, don't. It's,
I'll talk about that right now.
yeah, that's something that we can do later, but at this time, I will leave him in your care, your, whatever you need, we're here to help you out with. The only thing I'm going to ask is just you guys, just please stay in touch with Kavita. She will help you out. And I just don't want a fifth case. That's it. I'm with you. So how long do you want to set it out, Kavita?
I think maybe a 6 week, the evaluation, all the medical together and talk.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to waive his appearance. That way he doesn't have to waste his time coming to court, but just be nice. Self-control. All these cases are because of no self-control. You get upset and you wig out. But think, it's okay. We all get angry. We all do. But just think before you act. Think before you speak. That's it. Listen to mom. If you ever need anything, come back and I can help you out with whatever you need. Just say the word. Okay?
Judge, in regards to bond conditions, how did you want to handle that?
So the bond conditions that I'd like, it just, no contact with ever the terroristic threat cases and just no weapons. That's all I would like. It's not, my concern is that it was a healthcare provider, because that's what I was thinking. Is that someone that he's currently seeing? Do you know? Alex, who in the
Oh, in the
most recent case, who's the complaining witness?
most recent case, let me see. It says the reporting party.
Oh, that case is upstairs. It's not even with us. I'm
That's all,
sorry.
Your Honor.
So disregard it. I thought it was with us.
Yes, Judge.
So the only condition is just no weapons. That's it. Okay. And just stay in contact with your lawyer. Okay. Absolutely. Mr. Halsell, good luck, bud. All right? Okay, thanks, committee.
Thank you, Judge. May you be excused?
This is Mr. Riley.
Yep.
Riley, last time he was here, Your Honor asked him to
Mr. Vaughn?
do some employment, which he's done. I've got proof of that.
Okay,
Schooling, I spoke to his mother and his aunt, and the issue there is, he doesn't like the school he's zoned to. It's not a great, fit for him. And so he's trying to get with the aunt, and there's just some logistical issues. But I spoke to both the individuals, and I mean, he's making good faith efforts to do it. He's just, has not yet.
is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, Ridley, come up. Is mom here?
That,
Who's that?
I don't. Yeah. I spoke to her last night and this morning. Okay, yeah.
Is that mom? Are you mom? Come on up.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming. It's great. So what's going on with Mr. Ridley now?
I haven't had a chance to let him do like the holiday work schedule, but he's looking for a job and I'm trying to get him make 2 steps.
So you're not doing anything now? You stay at home and do nothing?
I was.
He's looking for jobs.
I got put like 3-4 applications in.
School is more important, Mr. Ridley. You need to get your education, man. You need a high school diploma. At worst comes to worst, we can give you paperwork so you can do the schooling at home and get your GED online at a minimum, and we can give it to you for free. But I mean, you're at home you're not working, you're not going to school, you're doing nothing to make life better for yourself. Life doesn't get easier the older you get. It gets more difficult. If you don't have a job, if you don't have an education, you will end up nowhere. And life sucks without money. Trust me. Do you understand? Okay. Do you mind giving them the paperwork, please? We need to be somewhere, Mr. Ridley. I'm going to give you another couple weeks, 2.5 weeks. At the minimum, be enrolled to start working on your GED. Do you understand? I'm also going to drug test you. I'm not going to let you there's no smoking weed, none of this. Do you understand? If I find that you're using, I'm going to revoke your bond. I'm going to keep you. Do you understand? All right.
One other issue, Judge, we would request, the complainant has made contact with the DA's office and let her thoughts be known on the case in a RIP call. And so we request that the no contact be just brought down to no threatening, harassing.
Who is it?
It's a girlfriend situation, Judge. And I spoke to DV about it. He reviewed it and said he was going to leave notes, that they had no opposition to that.
Yeah, or even something else.
And yes, that is correct. The RIP does say no contact, so no threatening, harassing would be fine.
Okay. I will amend your bond condition, Mr. Ridley, to have no lasting contact with the complaining witness in this case. You're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand? You need to start working on your education. Life doesn't get easier. Do you understand? That's my main concern. You graduate, you get your GED, we're all going to be jumping up and down because that's what you need. Without a high school diploma, you will literally make pennies when everybody else is making dollars. Do you understand? I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, see you in 2 weeks. All right.
Judge, I forgot to approach you on this other case. It's Miss Loyola. Judge, she has an AFM in our court, but she has a felony.
So she's on bond for an assault of a family member,
Yes.
on bond for a felony assault of a peace officer, and now you pick up a new case.
And what happened was she went to felony.
Oh, hold on. I don't even think we've done probable cause yet. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You now stand charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or $2,000 fine.
On March 19th, 2025, a law enforcement officer observed a white Chevrolet Silverado ahead of him on the block 12600 block of Wilkland Parkway and ran the license plate through the NCIC TCIC. Registration was shown to be expired as June 2024. A traffic stop was initiated and the law enforcement officer made contact with the defendant, the driver. The law enforcement officer observed a strong odor of marijuana, and the defendant claimed at first she didn't have anything in the motor vehicle, then confessed she had marijuana and several pipes. The defendant was detained. Probable cause search of the motor vehicle was done, and the law enforcement officer located multiple marijuana pipes. Law enforcement officer located a small bag of a leafy green substance and a black bag in the back seat. It was identified as marijuana, and the bag was within arm's reach of the defendant. Total weight of the marijuana was 0.09 ounces.
Since she has a license.
Yes, Your Honor. It does show be
Eligible or
ineligible.
ineligible? Not allowed to drive. You will now be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuses are. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and or a $500 fine every time you drive. You are on bond for 2 cases. Your first bond violation report was filed in February for you not showing up for testing and not picked up a new case. I now revoke your bond on the assault case.
Judge, if I may,
Please.
she went to felony court and she was also revoked there. She just spent probably 4 or 5 days there. Is that
Yeah.
right? And she's out here,
The
so
day that I moved was, I was in jail for a traffic ticket and a
The-
big call.
I don't know if you heard that, Judge, but the day that she missed court here the first time.
No,
wa-
whenever I missed the
You missed
test.
it, that's right. She actually had texted me and she got taken into custody because of a traffic ticket. I have all that. So she was actually on her way to the testing and got picked over, and therefore she couldn't continue to make it there. So she's already been punished for bond revocation on the felony court, which she spent 5 days in jail last week. When did you get out on that?
Saturday.
Saturdays. And so if we take her in, I know you have every right to, Judge. It seems to me like it's kind of like a double whammy for her, especially for the fact that for that first BVR, she did honestly try to make an attempt to get there. I have the phone records for that, Judge.
When someone tells me something and they repeatedly fail to recognize the conditions that we set forth, for me, it goes in one ear and it goes out the other ear. You telling me something when you get out the doors, you still do whatever the hell you want to do without regard to bond conditions in this court. I'm now revoking your bond. She goes with you. Well, hold on. I need to sign this affidavit so she's not going to drive. And then she goes with you. I'm sorry,
Can I-
John, but it's just one thing after the other. Just.
Do you want to go ahead and just issue a new bond, or can I revisit you in about an hour to figure out what we want to do, Judge?
Sure.
You want to do it that way? Okay.
Give it down, we got a plea?
She went to court 16.
You did? Oh, we have to wait till you give me.
Well, hold on a second. You really want to do a probation with Mr. Proctor?
That's what he said, Judge.
You couldn't even stay out of trouble while you're on bond. Why do you actually think that you can make a probation?
Oh, you got someone else.
Yeah, I've heard that before. How many times have I heard that before? How many bond violations have we had, Mr. Proctor? You know, you can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. You know, if you think you repeatedly fail to appear for court, you repeatedly fail to comply with bond conditions, how on earth do you think that you're going to be able to make probation where you have to do classes, you have to remain clean, you have to report once a month? You can't even report to court once a month. How are you going to do this for 12 months? History says otherwise, Mr. Proctor. Can we do a TRAS on you? Before I do anything, I don't know how to go forward with him. And I think that probably the best way to see is to have Mr. Proctor evaluated to see what conditions and what is the appropriate way to go forward, because I have no idea what's going on in your life. I have no idea what you have, and we don't want to see you fail, Mr. Proctor. We want you to leave better than you came. But just doing this right here, it's just throwing you out there to the wolves. I mean, if you really think that this is the appropriate way, you can even, while you're on bond for a couple months, stay out. Before, I would like to have him evaluated. So what we do is we have clinicians available that can interview you, talk to you about you, what's going on with your life, what has been happening with you, how everything has transpired and how we've gotten here to this point, and to see what's the best way that we go forward. Do we need a treatment plan? Do we need inpatient treatment? Is it sufficient to do out? I don't know, but I'm not ready to do this just yet. I think that we need to have your TRAS to see how we go forward. Let's see what they say, and then at that point, you want to court reporter regardless, right?
Oh, no, sir, no, sir. We will respectfully honor
So let's,
request by the court.
it doesn't have to take long. I can expedite it so we can have everything done within the next couple of days. We're not talking weeks. We're not talking, so we can have everything done quick. Because I don't want you to just sit there and languish. But I need to know how to go forward. And this, I don't think that this is the appropriate way. If they say after we have you evaluated, if they say and they give the blessing, then I'm all for it. I want to do what they advise because they know best. Every time I have someone TRAS and I deviate from it, we pay dearly. So that's why I trust them to give us the best advice as how to go forward. All right? Give me a couple days. Let me get the TRAS done. We can come back and then we'll go forward. Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I have the rest of my notes. So we're just going to wait for the TRAS before we do the plate.
Right. Yeah, because I want to know what are the appropriate conditions that we put? Because this right now, this is the type of probation that we usually do when people have, no violations or, they've been, but here we have multiple, 4 different violations from one thing or the other. So that's why.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Judge.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Your Honor.
Sheila.
I'm approaching on Mr. Portillo Sanchez.
Judge, was presumptively positive for alcohol, fentanyl, and cocaine.
Your Honor, he wants to take a plea for 180 days today, which he's got 22 days credit, so.
I don't know.
All right.
I think the last time we had said a year, right?
Yeah.
We set it for trial, I think, on the 22nd-ish, and he wants to plead to 180. No, okay. Will you, is there anything the court would accept? No.
I'm over and over and over. And I don't know if that's what it is that's causing everything in all these cases. But I have a sneaky suspicion that it could be due to all that. You now tested positive for cocaine, fentanyl, what else?
An alcohol, Judge.
Alcohol. You were on bond for 5 different violent cases. Goes with you. I'm sorry, Mr. Portillo. What I would like to do, because obviously now we now know that there may be a more substantive issue that may be causing all this. So what I'd like to do is have him TRAS to see how we go forward. But I'm not going to just continue to take these cases where we're basically pleading guilty, throwing him in there 30 days, gets out, he picks up another felony. We have now 4 or 5 open felonies. No, I'm not going to continue to perpetuate this revolving door of you picking up a case, getting out, picking up a case, getting out, picking up a case, and now you're testing positive. No, we will now get to the root of what the problem is and why you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, now 15. It ends today. Goes with you? And we'll have him to your ass. Let's see what it says. And then, you know, but I'm not just going to continue to do the same thing in hopes that when he gets out. So, send it for Tiraz. We'll come back in a couple days, get the report, and let's see what they say on how it goes. Okay. But I'm not going to just continue to do the same thing and hope for a unicorn because it's just not going to happen. You know?
I would like to just,
It's up to you.
I would
Want
like,
to?
I mean, if,
Can,
but, right,
let's figure out what's going on.
sure. I just want to see what I mean,
Sure.
obviously as his attorney, I need to see what his options are and meet with
And I don't
him.
want you to do anything you are not coach or not happy with, you know? Before we do anything, you know, of course I want your blessing. And if he says no to what they say, then we just go
Have a
try.
try.
And we'll go one after the other. Just be ready, please. Okay.
Should we, I guess, set him like for Friday or something and see, I don't know.
It's probably gonna be the process of today. I don't know if it's tomorrow.
No, there's no way. It's now 11:30. Till tomorrow, he's still gonna be processing.
Right.
So we can't start the TRAS until he's out. Latest will probably be Wednesday is when we get it done. I would say we probably will have the restriction.
Well, but he'll be set for bail review automatically, right? For Wednesday or?
But if he stays in holdover, somebody can come over there.
We usually have people come here to do the TRAS here.
Right, okay.
Here, to
Okay.
try to expedite it so that they don't sit there for a week or 2 weeks, you know, because we want to, it's not the idea, it's just to hold, just for the sake of holding, is to get everything done quick so you guys can make the informed decision quick. And we'll see, you know, and the idea is hopefully he's honest and then try to get to the cause because,
The options.
you know, before there's a murder case because he's using and he does something that's irreparable, you know?
I
I
understand.
mean, how many times have we seen it? So, okay.
Thank you.
Tiger,
Mr. Mayor Approach. Sorry, Judge,
man,
I'm terrible. I'm in this death penalty capital, so I just don't.
still?
Yes, Your Honor, we're 2 out of 3 weeks. I just have 4 minutes left on my bathroom break. Mr. Thomas tested, it looks like his marijuana levels are going down, but he did test positive for alcohol. I
Talk
talked,
to Mr. Thomas.
he's present, Judge.
Not only have I reinstated his bond once already, but now we're working a second bond violation for it. What do I need to do to get your attention, Mr. Thomas?
Got it.
Yeah, right. Justin,
Yes, Your
what
Honor.
do I need to do? Put his butt in jail?
I think we've been in felony court this morning, so I don't want you to think he wasn't here. He was,
I don't
he
care
was,
about that.
um,
I care about him continuing to use and continuing to do whatever the hell he wants to do without regard to bond conditions. You do what you want to do. I think I have but one choice, Justin, and to just put him in jail.
Judge, what do you think about some AA meetings or some?
I don't think it'll. When did we order him not to use?
What was the last name again, Judge?
This is Thomas, Mr. Thomas.
Conditions were set in place on October 11th.
This past October, we told him not to use.
The marijuana is negligible, so it's almost out of the system. It was at 0.005, I think. I understand the court's frustration and concern.
If it's been bond conditions since October, we're now nearly April 1st. It's been 6 months. So it should have been way, way gone.
No, it was from the positive. So you admonished him on the positive not to use, and then, so this was his first test since,
February 6th.
right, and so that's what I'm saying. So the marijuana is negligible. I know it's not an excuse, but I don't know that we we read all of our bond conditions about alcohol. Now, I know that's not an excuse because he signed for it. I get it. But I do want to point out to the court that the marijuana is basically out of the system. It was like, that's why I'd asked for the levels, but it was like at a 0.05 or 0.05. It was,
Alicia, do you see that?
The levels, Judge, let me see if it's in the email.
it was, I asked for them, Judge.
I know. I saw that you did. What do you do for a living? Where do you work?
Russo's Pizzeria. I'm a chef.
What is it?
Russo's Pizzeria. I'm a chef.
He's a chef at Russo's Pizzeria and we're in school. So we are being productive members of society.
How do I know that? Am I supposed to take your word for it?
You can take his mom's, Judge. I talk to his mom pretty much on a regular basis.
Judge, if you see that number, however, truthfully, I don't know what that means. But it is a low number. So that's all I have to offer for, but.
Here's what we're going to do, is I'm putting a scram monitor on his ankle, so I know that he's not consuming alcohol.
Yes, sir.
I'm now going to put a GPS monitor and I'm giving you a curfew, because I don't want you out in the middle of the night. I'm giving you a 10 p.m. curfew. If you ever have another bond violation, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make it so high. Do you understand?
Sir.
I'm sorry.
I will test you again in 2 weeks. If you test positive for marijuana after 2 weeks, then that tells me that you've continued to use and I'm going to lock you up. Do you understand?
Sir.
Thank you, Judge. Maybe it's used to go back to very important cases.
Yeah, so he's back in 2 weeks to test. If he tests positive after the 0.05 nanograms or whatever the hell it is, if he's still testing positive.
I have
then
nothing
that's it.
left to say, Judge.
All right.
I will be speechless.
All right.
Your Honor, I am here on Mr. John C. Joseph, BBR, alleged BBR violation, Judge. Sitting over in the jury box. It's my understanding that he left his area curfew area on 9:07 p.m. on 5/20 came back at 9:31, approximately 24 minutes. I spoke with him. It's my understanding that he went over to his sister's house because he and his girlfriend had gotten into a heated discussion. He informed me.
Mr. Joseph.
He informed me that he left to stop proceeding the assault, possibly assault between the two.
I do everything in my power to try to prevent people from going back into custody. But some people just refuse to just, I don't know what I can do to get your attention. You now have 2 open cases, and now this is your second bond violation. What do I need to do to get your, what do I need to do to get your attention? Is it putting you back in jail, Mr. Joseph, and making your bond high? Sir. Your actions tell me different. This is what we're going to do. I'm sending him now for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, is in the system. You were to come back. If you fail to test, if you fail to take the test, if you fail to come back, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? I don't want you to say anything. I want you to go take.
I'm offended. I'm not have time for to get on my sister back.
You have been on bond, Mr. Joseph.
I think the last time he was in court, Judge, I think he made an admission that he had used drugs during that court appearance. And if that's the case, he may be correct in that it may still be in his system, Your Honor, because it hasn't been 30 days.
The first burglary of a motor vehicle has been open since June of 2024. Since that time, I have told you not to use.
Okay.
Take a seat for me. I don't know what we're gonna do. Take a seat.
Thank you, Judge.
You were here in June last year. You had a violation because you came in late then. Now we have another set of bond violation for you coming in late.
Was he,
Why would I continue to let you go? I let you go already once and you did it again.
instead of voting on Thursday?
Do you see what I mean? Because me, if I let you go, then I'm telling you it's okay for you to do what you do, when it's not.
Judge, if I may, I believe that he has a legitimate reason. I believe that if he had not gone, there was the possibility that an assault or some other harm could have happened to his girlfriend. From my conversation with Mr. Joseph, he informed me that he left, and it was just for only 24 minutes. He left in order for both of those parties to cool down before a fight or an act of violence escalated between those two parties. I personally think that that was the right thing to do.
Who do you live with at home?
My girlfriend, but my sister stay right down the sidewalk in the same apartments.
You stay in a complex.
Yes, sir.
She doesn't live with you.
Huh?
She doesn't live with you.
No, not my sister.
So who is the fight with?
It's my understanding that it was his girlfriend.
Is it the family here?
My girlfriend here.
So the fight was with who?
It wasn't a fight, it was a words that was about to escalate into a fight, at which time he left for a cooling off period with his girlfriend. And he left, something serious could have happened. I believe that was, even though it was a violation of the bond condition, I believe that it could have been worse had he not left.
If you put your hands on anyone, I don't care who it is, if it's a woman, if it's a man, I'm gonna put my hands all over you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Nothing in this life can justify you putting your hands on anyone. You have two.
I just left so the situation can cool down.
You have two open cases. At all times, you need to be thinking to yourself, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? If you're going to antagonize, meaning if you're going to say something that makes someone flip out on you and the laws come over and they see you and they look you up, 9 times out of 10, they're going to go against you. You need to be thinking of these things at all times. You get into a fight with them, words, it's always going to end up bad for you. I understand and I appreciate de-escalating the situation, meaning you're leaving so that it doesn't end up in anything more. But it shouldn't be like that in the first place. Are you working?
No, I just did 3 job applications. I'm waiting on the interview to be named.
Judge, yes, sir, I know you are.
I don't care.
I do, Judge.
Why aren't you working?
I just recently started looking for jobs.
You have too much time on your hands. You need something to do in this life before it takes you down. When you have too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive. You need something to do in this life. It's time for you to start working. And I want to see that you get a job. Toria, can we help them out?
Yes, I'll give them some resources.
We're going to give you resources to try to help you get a job. There's no reason why you can't have a job within the next couple of weeks if you try. When you put your heart and soul into it, you can achieve damn near anything. It's just how badly do you want it? That's what it amounts to. And when you do get a job, if you really do a bang up job, and if you do well and you don't do stuff half-assed, all you're going to do is you're going to go up and you will make more money. The higher you go up in a job, the more money you're going to make. And then everybody's happy. When you get to buy nice things, that's what life's about. Not the janky, stupid ass jobs where you're making $6 an hour. No. Work hard so you can make a lot of money. All right,
It's great.
I'm not gonna ding you. I don't want any more issues. Do you understand, Mr. Joseph?
Yes, sir.
I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks and I want to see that you have a job. 2 to 3 weeks. If I see that you haven't put any effort into it, it's not going to go well between us. I also don't want you to use any dope. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you're testing positive, likewise, it won't go well for you. All right, Mr. D.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good.